Hello and welcome to another Slime Square Reviews with the Southland Ghostbusters. Today we are going to be unboxing and reviewing the newly released Ghostbusters 1/4 scale Ray Stantz statue from HCG, Hollywood Collectibles Group. Your statue will arrive in a typical shipping box. It notes the company and the product version you are getting. This collectible comes in two versions. There's a standard release, and there's an exclusive hand-numbered edition that comes with an additional head. As you can tell, today we'll be reviewing the exclusive release. With the introduction aside, let's move forward and get this box opened. Right away, you'll see that classic and wonderful No Ghost logo and Ghostbusters title on top of the packaging. The product box is separated from the shipping box with a cellophane bag. It also assists in removing the product box. You could save time by simply removing the statue contents from the box, since you probably won't be displaying it. We did this for the sake of the review. So here it is. The statue is displayed beautifully on the front with a foggy and gloomy city landscaped in the distance. Each side of the box is adorned again with the No Ghost logo, but this time with the Ray Stantz name in the same Ghostbusters font. Taking a look at the back, we are treated to this description. From the cult classic sci-fi comedy movie Ghostbusters, Hollywood Collectibles Group is proud to present Ray Stantz in 1/4 scale. Featuring incredible likeness of Dan Aykroyd in character as Stantz, this incredibly realistic statue stands approximately 19 inches tall on its Ghostbusters themed base. Standing in classic ghostbusting pose, Stantz is captured with Neutrino wand in hand and comes complete with an intricately detailed proton pack on his back and ghost trap on his belt. As with all Hollywood collectible pieces, this museum-quality statue is constructed from heavyweight polystone and then painted to the finest detail. For this exclusive, a handwritten edition number is just below the description. The production number you receive should be the same as what was displayed on the shipping box. We can see here that the contents are encased in a styrofoam protective shell with a quality control sticker over the tape seal. Hollywood Collectibles is proudly stamped into the top of the styrofoam package.
Go, Ray, be gone!
Let's break this seal and get to this statue. Alright, here it is. The statue consists of 7 pieces: the base, the body, proton pack, hands, the ghost trap, and 2 interchangeable heads, one of which is the exclusive. First up we have the base. As you can see, it's very well made. It has a lot of weight to it and is close to 2 inches thick. Next, let's take a look at the second piece, the proton pack. One thing to note, it is not attached to the Alice frame, so there is a downside if you were looking to display this piece separately from the figure. However, this pack is beautifully done and highly accurate to the original prop details. You might find some inaccuracies, but they are minor and few. Our next piece is a holstered ghost trap, which is in typical Ray Stantz fashion. Take note that some liberties were created by Hollywood Collectibles versus what is seen on film. The leather holster differs wildly and the foot pedal is attached to what looks like a carabiner instead of it simply hanging off of the trap handle. Our next part are the gloved hands gripping onto the particle thrower. This piece is also very well done, but has a few glaring inaccuracies at first glance. We see this hose is blue and not green. The bar graph window is a little too far to the right, and some of the metal knobs are in wrong places. Other details have been omitted, such as the 3 discs at the bottom of the thrower, as well as the S-hook. Other than that, the casual fan probably won't notice the difference. The body is the next piece and possibly the heaviest besides the base. The detail on the body is spectacular. You mentioned earlier that the Alice frame wasn't attached to the proton pack. Here you'll find it's permanently attached to the body. The equipment looks great. However, there are a few minor flaws. They went with the Motorola MT500 design for the radio. This is accurate to the other Ghostbusters members. However, Ray used the HT200 Motorola model and not the MT500 design. Other nitpicks we found are how the shoulder straps are tied to the Alice frame and the yellow tube attaching to a key fob. Simply minor gripes. Finally, our last 2 pieces to unbox are the interchangeable heads. The first one we'll look at is the exclusive. The first captures Ray's facial expressions when he first encounters the onion head ghost. The likeness is pretty well done here. He has a cigarette hanging from his lip and ecto goggles strapped to his noggin. Here we have the second head sculpt. It's akin to a more serious looking Stantz that we see in the film during the final encounter with Gozer. The head sculpt on this one is amazing, and the paint application is fantastic. Let's assemble this statue by first inserting the metal foot peg rod into the hole found in the base. Make sure the hole is free of any packaging fodder. If you station the rod over the mounting hole just right, it should slide into the base quite easily. Attaching the heads are quite simple. Mount the peg in the groove and gravity will hold it in place. This removes any difficulty in interchanging between the 2 sculpts. Now let's attach the ghost trap. The trap has a tiny metal rod connected to a base that attaches to the belt. You will find a slotted port to the right of the belt gizmo's daughter board. The hands simply connect to the slotted pegs at the end of the arm. It seems as though there are magnets molded into the parts to help keep them attached. Now let's attach the final piece, the proton pack, the part that makes a Ghostbuster a Ghostbuster. It attaches simply to the Alice frame via a very tiny metal rod located on the lower back. The back support rod going up the center of the Alice frame acts as a slotted connector for the pack and helps keep it attached to the statue. Alright, here it is, it's fully assembled. Let's go ahead now and switch out the heads. You simply lift up, switch, put back down into place. It's that easy. With that said, we're now going to take this time to give our opinions and review this wonderful piece. The likeness on the exclusive head sculpt is great. It does a great job capturing the look Stantz delivers when he's faced with Slimer for the first time. The cigarette is a great addition, but appears to be very fragile and could break. It's held in place with a tiny metal rod. If it were to ever break, there would be a very noticeable hole and raised lower lip. In other words, don't break it. The non-ectogoggle sculpt is probably the better of the two, which best captures Dan Aykroyd's likeness. There are angles with both sculpts where the likeness of the actor can feel lost. With this sculpt, it seems as though there are less instances of that happening. Due to the more comical nature of the expression on the other sculpt, you have more opportunities of a likeness loss happening. We love the gloved look, especially if he's going to be holding the wand. The sculpt on the thrower is fantastic, minus a few minor gripes we mentioned earlier. It would have been nice to have those fixes, but it's nothing to complain about. It still looks fantastic, and most people wouldn't be able to tell. The trap is the most interesting piece because it's so different. It looks amazing and the person who sculpted it did a fantastic job. However, the holster doesn't match what is seen on screen. This look is either something HCG came up with or used a non-accurate fan-made prop as reference. Also, the cord for the trap pedal sorta just floats in space and should be hanging out at Stantz's side. It still does look great on his side even with the nitpicking. Oops, it appears we missed a part of the assembly. In all our griping, we forgot to attach the thrower hose to the cyclotron. How else is Stantz gonna throw a capture stream without it? Now let's tear apart the proton pack. This is the part fans want done right, and somehow it always gets messed up. In actuality, this is probably one of the best likeness of the proton pack that's out there. It does have its flaws. Besides the elbows and some weird, unnecessary circle next to the large PH25 Dale resistor, it is very, very well done. Somebody at Hollywood Collectibles definitely did their homework. The proton pack sculpt on this is phenomenally impressive, with little room for improvement. We tip our hats off to you, Hollywood Collectible Group. If it had a few tweaks and had lights and sounds, it would be a perfect piece. The 1/4 scale Raymond Stantz collectible statue retails for around $400. It weighs 18 pounds, so if you pick it up online, expect to pay for shipping. You might find these in your local collectible or comic shop and avoid the extra in shipping. This is a more high-end price and part of a larger collection. There is already a 1/4 scale Venkman available in both standard and exclusive versions. Also, there is a 1/4 scale Food Cart Slimer in the collection as well. These also retail each for the same price, and we hope that HCG continues to produce both Spangler and Zedmore. The likenesses on these aren't perfect, and that can be hurtful for a higher end collectible. We should also mention that they do look much better in person than what you see in our review. If you have the budget, the means, and the desire, we recommend picking the pieces up. They will make a great display for anyone who collects statues and Ghostbusters collectibles. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this review. If you found it helpful or useful, please hit the like and subscribe button. We'll see you next time.